Hey MVPs, Rico Knows here. Going to talk to you guys about a futures bet for 2024. If you weren't paying attention, I've done every single team in the ACC. We're now in the Big Ten, and if you're going alphabetical, the first team in the Big Ten is Illinois. Okay, so Illinois' over/under is 5.5 wins for next season in the regular season. If you remember last year, they went out, they beat Toledo, lost to Kansas, lost to Penn State, beat FAU, who's actually very terrible, lost to Purdue, bad, lost to Nebraska, beat Maryland, lost to Wisconsin, beat Minnesota, beat Indiana in overtime, and lost to Iowa, couldn't find a way to score, and then lost to Northwestern in a shootout. Now, if you look at Illinois for who they are and what they are, they went 5-7 in the regular season. So if you look at the over-under here, it says 5.5 wins. They're expecting them to either go 5 wins again or get to 6 this time around. So what are they going to do in the next season? So if we look at the team for what it is, they got Luke Altmaier at quarterback. He's a transfer from Ole Miss. Couldn't start at Ole Miss, no shame. Got to Illinois, played okay, not great, and actually got outplayed by John Paddock here. John Paddock, former Ball State starting quarterback who transferred in. I think he was a preferred walk-on. And John Paddock was only playing at Illinois because his father, grandfather, uncle, everybody played at Illinois. It was a life dream of his to play at Illinois. He just was a legacy. He just wanted to play there. So he shows up willing to be the backup quarterback. And what do you know? They put him in, and he plays out of his mind. And at that point, you start thinking to yourself, man, who's better than so-and-so? Like, who's really good? Who's not? It's pretty remarkable. You don't know what to do. Hopefully, Luke Altmaier finds a way to get back the starting job, and he has the locker room believe in him. It might take some time. Starting running back, Reggie Love III, ended up getting injured, not being the starter the whole year. He's been on the bench for a long time. Then finally found himself in the starting lineup, was not the workhorse they were looking for. And then you got Caden Fagan here. This guy looks like he looks like Derrick Henry. 6'3", 240, power back, running people over. It was exciting to see this true freshman. What you guys don't know is he comes from a small school. From Indiana, from Illinois, wherever he's from. He comes from a small school. Played small school, high school football, and he still went out there to ball out and ran people over. It was impressive. Josh McCray down here. A lot of these guys, inconsequential, didn't really move me. Not that impressive on tape. Star receiver Isaiah Williams didn't score a touchdown for most of the season. Not really the guy we're talking about. He's a 1,000-yard receiver, but doesn't really impact the win-loss ratio like you'd think. A lot of it was the bad quarterback play, but I didn't see a lot of receivers that really moved me. And then you have Tip Ryman here. Good blocking tight end. He's currently in the NFL draft. Congratulations. But I don't really see a ton of stars at the wide receiver position for them. Illinois' offense leaves a lot to be desired. Now, on defense, they've been known for having these NFL caliber defensive players, and this has been going on for a couple years now. Last year, 2 years ago in the NFL draft, they had 3 guys drafted in the first 3 rounds. It's impressive, right? They had the Brown brothers. They had, who's the other safety they had? He went in the second round. His name escapes me right now. They had players. And you see Newton down here, probably one of the best defensive linemen in the country. You're going to see players, and people are going to go, yeah, these guys are great. These guys are great. Slow down, man. I'm going to tell you how it works. Illinois had the best defensive coordinator in the country in Ryan Walters. And he developed the hell out of players, made 0 stars into first-round draft picks. He was doing everything right, developing players and making them great. And then they became known as like DBU in the Big Ten and all this shit. Guys, I look at their team 2 years ago. They should have won 11 games, and they only won 8. They had NFL players all over the field. They had developed an NFL pedigree all over that defense. Had a star running back, and they still didn't get it done. They failed to win games when it mattered most. They failed to overcome the hump. Like, they should have won 11, and they won 8, and they went out and gave, what's his name? Bielema? But I can't say his damn name. Brett Bielema, the head coach. They went and gave him a contract extension. And it blew my mind. He got a contract extension when you lose Ryan Walters, your best defense coordinator, who's now at Purdue. Okay, that's a whole nother conversation. So I really wasn't impressed with Illinois going out and giving a coach that I think underachieved with the talent he had, giving him a contract extension. He loses his star defensive coordinator, linebackers coach. He loses a lot of guys that were a part of the development of the team, and you think they're going to win, and the results were terrible. They regressed, and I think the peak 2 years ago is as good as they're ever going to be for a while. So now when I go look at their depth chart, you can see it up here, wide receivers. I'll talk about it, but some of these guys you don't even see on the if I pull up the transfer portal, you won't see some of these yellow names. These are all transfers. But like Mario Sanders, I had to go watch all his tape. Iowa Central, a JUCO wide receiver. He's small. He's athletic. He's kind of explosive. He's not special. He doesn't look like he's penciled in to be a starter. Same with Bartolotta. Bartolotta, same JUCO. Iowa Central, 2 Iowa Central wide receivers are now in the 2 deep at Illinois. What? It blows my mind, y'all. J.C. Davis, complete stud at left tackle. Wingington, complete stud at left guard. He's coming over from Michigan State. Davis is coming over from New Mexico, I think. These are studs. I have not had a chance to look at Melvin Presley's tape. He's coming over from Grambling State. I think he's just added depth anyways. The offensive line looks fine. Cole Rusk, this is a kid who's transferring in from Murray State. Murray State Racers, they were terrible. But his dad wrestled at Illinois. So he's coming over to be one of them legacy kids. Congratulations. I don't see him being great, but people believe in him. He got all this hype, and I was like, all right, I went and watched the tape again. One of the worst tapes I see, like one of the worst teams in the country in Murray State, just to be real. Like Luke Altmaier, like Fagan at running back, this feels okay. Okay, defensively, bro, wheels are falling off. And what I mean by wheels are falling off, you're replacing with random-ass dudes. I don't know how Briggs is in your starting lineup. Briggs is a senior transfer from Florida State. Oh, Rico, they got a Florida State transfer. Yeah, bro. He's applying for his 7th year of college football. He had an injury, didn't play most of 2021, so hopefully he's getting another year of eligibility. But I don't see superstars by any means. I just don't see it. Shout out to Chase Canada here. He's another JUCO guy. So they hit the JUCOs really hard. He's transferring from Texas. Is it Tyler? It's one of them. I'm forgetting the name right now. But the point I'm trying to make is they don't really move me, man. I don't see a ton of talent. You're not replacing this NFL caliber talent on your team. I don't see it. So if I go to the transfer portal, very few people coming in. Like I said, Dennis Briggs, they're trying to tell me he's a superstar. I've never seen it. He's not in the 2 deep at Florida State. Been injury prone. I hope he's a big body you need. It doesn't hurt to get big bodies, 6'4", 300 pounds, the big guys. But Cole Rusk can play football. We'll see. This is the pride and joy of what you've gotten in the transfer portal. But look, their entire transfer portal is addressing the trenches, offensive line and defensive tackle. They're after defensive linemen all day. They know they're going to have a talent discrepancy there. They have not been developing their talent correctly. They haven't identified their guys. And these dudes coming in, like Sledge coming in from Auburn. We got SEC transfers. We got a Florida State transfer. Nah, bro. I don't look at it like that, man. I turn on the tape. I see dudes who couldn't play at that level. And then Anthony Johnson, congratulations. He's 300 pounds. But I watched him at Youngstown State. The Penguins, bro, it doesn't move me. Nothing out there really moves me. So I don't like what Illinois is doing. I don't like the way they're replacing their talent. So if I was to go and look at how they're going to do next year, they're going to beat Eastern Illinois. That's a win. They don't belong on the field with Kansas. They're going to lose by 40. Okay? They're going to beat Central Michigan. That's another win. They'll lose to Nebraska again. They'll lose to Penn State. I got them at 2 wins. Purdue blew them out last year. By the way, Purdue got Reggie Love. If I go over here and I look at their departing, let me just say that. Transfers coming out. Nicholson's leaving. That's Taz. He was going to go to Ole Miss. Now he flipped to Louisville. He's a starting corner. They lost him. McConnell, he plays. Lost him to Boston College. Reggie Love, the team's leading rusher, lost him to Purdue. You know why? Because all the assistant coaches at Illinois left to Purdue. They're the new head coaches over there. Other than that, nobody else of consequence. It's okay. But losing Reggie Love really hurts. I think they lose to Purdue. Michigan and Oregon blow them out. Minnesota's a toss-up. I don't think they're better poised to beat Michigan State. I don't. I like Michigan State's improvements in the transfer portal and coaching staff. I think Michigan State wins. I think Rutgers finds a way to win. And I know Northwestern's going to win again. So it's for me, it's going to be a really rough November. And I don't see them winning. I see them struggling, man. I don't see it. And then at best, let's go here. They have it at 5.5 wins. At best, I have them winning 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 in here. Maybe. But 5.5 seems like a stretch. So for me, for a futures bet, if you want to put your bet on it and we start celebrating the entire offseason and you get your money at the end of the year, I would go ahead and bet the under on 5.5 for Illinois. I don't think they win 5.5 games in the regular season. It's either going to be 5 or less. That's a lock, not a lean. And I got it at 1 unit, possibly 2. It just doesn't seem like they're going to get there. It's a daunting task. They have no skill players on the outside. And I don't see how they replace their defensive talent. NFL caliber players leaving again for another year, and they haven't replaced it with anything adequate. I think it's going to be bad. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows.